Greetings and welcome to another Alpha Magnus review. This time we've got this big boy. I got this in the mail today. This is the Haslab from the Transformers. Just want to kind of take it out, take a look. This is going to be more of an unboxing review than it is an actual review of the figures. We're going to go over multiple stages of this, so be prepared for a bunch of videos on this subject. Unfortunately, there was an issue with this Haslab, and a lot of people got messed up copies because due to some oversight, possibly a rush in how it was delivered to get it here before tariffs start knocking it out. Some people have gotten it where the chest is breaking, and I planned to do the fix for it, which, let's be honest, shouldn't have to. At least it was packaged well. I just had to go through two separate things there. But this is the Haslab Omega Prime. Let's pull it back. I am going to do a review of this as well as a couple other things, but the name that I have for this channel is Alpha Magnus. And this is the thing. Back when this came out, this series had just come out in 2001. I saw this figure, and I based my identity on this figure. I loved Optimus Prime. I loved Ultra Magnus. This is both of them combined. If you're unfamiliar with the series, there's Ultra Magnus. There's Optimus Prime. They both have their own modes. I do have the figures. I saved my figures to make sure that I could do some side-by-sides of these. So we will be doing those videos. I will be doing a lot of videos on this because this is kind of my it's kind of my figure. Like, so when this came out, I was like, well, what's the opposite of, like, what? And I really wanted to do this. I still would love to do it, but I just don't have time or money or another one of these. But I'd love to take it and make him an Optimus Prime and him an Ultra Magnus. Someone did it back on the TFW boards years ago. Love the way it looked. He had missiles. He was just a regular kind of truck. So when they combined, I was going to call them Alpha Magnus. That is where it comes from. It has nothing to do with being an alpha male, which, I mean, was a thing then, but not what it is now. It is now a toxic environment for people who can't just accept things as they are. They gotta be weird about it. Let's be honest. And I have been told that having that attitude makes me a Sigma, so maybe I just changed my name. I don't know. We'll figure it out then. My favorite part is when people tell me, like, goofy stuff about that. Like, I'll post something online, and suddenly they're like, you need to change your name. You ain't no alpha. Sure, buddy. Then I go look at the dude, and he essentially looks like Grimace. Like, get out of here. Let's take all this stuff out. Take all the boxes out. And make sure there's nothing else in here. Nope. Looks like this box is beautiful. I love it. Very glad about everything we've got here. So let's see what's in each one of these boxes now. I'm going to guess, just do a little bit of a guess, that this is the Matrix blade. Look at that! So let's get this done. This will be the first thing we do in this. We're just going to kind of unbox everything and figure it out from there. Because, sure. Let's pop the Matrix blade out. this combined here. See how they did this. It looks like that goes right there. Let's actually zoom in since we're not dealing with that huge box. The huge boxes anymore. It looks like this. Lines up to there. Ah! Seriously. Luckily that didn't snap in. It definitely lines up there. I just don't... Ugh, maybe got to push a little harder. And that's it. Now the weird thing is I don't remember this being purple back in the show. So I'm a little bit confused by that. I thought it was blue or red. Blue, I think, is what it was supposed to be. So it's interesting that we got a purple one here. I might 3D scan that and make a blue one just for my own do-gooding. Did they make it? This comes apart. It does. Ha-ha! So it looks like this pops off right there and there. Then you can take this apart and make other things, which I'm sure we're going to see soon enough. Because the smaller blade would have gone to to be used for something else. So I was hoping that they kept that functionality, which it seems they did. A little weird how you have to do it to connect it, though, but I've seen weirder. Definitely seen. I think they could have run by this with another swing, though, at the old design board. There. Looks like this pops right here. It's interesting. There's a piece of metal going through each one of these. Probably for stability. But I don't really like how loose that is. I actually have a couple other matrix blades that I've saved from previous figures. Maybe I'll dig those out and we'll do a video on that. Everything gets a video. So I'm going to assume these are each of our boys. So let's take this one out. Yeah, this is the accessory set parts, where our instructions, and blue bolts. So there's our part. So this makes kind of a space bridge part. Ooh, stuff is falling out. Don't like that. I think we got a Cerebros figure that came with this too. So these are our stands. And this is each stand piece that goes with that to make the space bridge or a stand for the figure. We're just going to use them. I'm going to be displaying this figure primarily in Omega Prime mode. If somehow someone later on decides to sell theirs at a price that's decent enough, I might purchase a second one. Because I really do like these Haslabs, but I could not go double this time. It just was not in the books. It was not in the cards to double up on this guy. He was I mean, I'm still at a bad part in my life. This showing up was one of those deals where it was like, oh man, I'm glad I paid for this a year ago. Because if not, I would be in the doghouse for myself, let alone anyone else. I actually, to the point where I skipped the last one. So Leo Kaiser is not going to be in my collection. unfortunately, even though I really wanted them, whatever, I could not afford it. So let's take a look at these ridiculous. All right, so this is the instructions for that. It's in multiple instructions. Can you just give us a booklet? Can you? This looks like Omega Prime instructions. Ultra Magnus instructions. I'm going to put these to the side, because we do not need these guys yet. We're not doing these instruction videos quite yet. We're going to go over each individual part of this first. So what's this one? This one is exactly what I want, which is assembling that, which I already did that. So as you see here, you can assemble the stands to be a space bridge section, and then you choose whatever stand bit you want. You can have it store the individual figures or Omega Prime himself. Pretty cool. So I'm going to take a look at these, and we're going to build these ones in blue bolts. Oh, hey, there's a thing there. Let's spin this around there. Here's the little, I guess this is Cerebros or whatever, Spike, I don't know. They give you a little headmaster unit to put on this guy. 100% unnecessary. I would rather they make a Brave Maximus figure instead. We don't always get what we want, though. There's blue bolts. I'll have to dig up the gun, because I don't believe I have that gun readily available right now. They decided to take the just basic gun and turn it into a weaponizer, which is a type of transformer that they've recently introduced that just turns into guns. The Guninator. Looks like this pops on right here. Don't know why that couldn't have been one piece, but I guess if you want to make multiple tracks of these, you do have to. Like if you bought like 6 of these, you could combine them all together. So, whatever. Looks like I gotta push that in first. So we're gonna slide that in there. And that's one. Slide that in here. This is some additional add-on parts. Looks like we've got, what's this? This is blue bolts for the back. Turning your friends into guns. I think this goes this way if you want to display it as. So we're going to do the figures first. We'll probably do that well enough. No, actually it does go this way for all of them. Huh. Interesting. As I said, I would have bought 3 of these. Possibly a 4th one just to have an extra Optimus robot, but I have my originals, so I'm going to keep them probably in vehicle mode. I have a couple of them that are like kind of yellowed, so all right, let's take this aside. Keep these 2 out. see what other things we got to keep out for them. Looks like Ultra Magnus needs to have this put on him. Just fine. Prime does not seem to need it. For some reason, just Ultra Magnus. But they gave us 2. That's interesting. Alright. That's a huge chunk of this done. And then the rest is just transformation. So we're just going to unbox it. And next video is going to be individually transforming and showing you differences in the robots, etc. Comparisons. I'm going to try to keep these all around 20 minutes long so that I'm not releasing a giant video all at once. Because last time I did that for Unicron, it was a failure, is all I can tell you. It was a giant freaking failure. So let's put them over there. Sweet. Accidentally pulled the right one. So we do have these parts that came separately. Some people were mad about that, but I'm kind of glad because they didn't get scratched in travel. We've got Ultra Magnus, who seems to be the exact same size, which is one of my problems that I did have with this line when they were doing this, is that they didn't really make them any bigger. And it's a Haslab, guys. Let's make them a little bigger. So unsheath these ones. We're going to pop you out. That's an interesting setup. These head pieces go into the super mode. So keep those right there. Close this back up. Slide this back into the box. We're going boxes in boxes in boxes here. Basic assembly. This guy, pretty cool. It just slides right here. I appreciate what the Transformers team has been doing with these Haslabs, but I feel like do this closer up than I would like. I do feel like they're hitting walls with what they can do with the Haslab. Because this is pretty much like a one-to-one of the previous figure. They just improved stuff. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's kind of a blah thing, you know? Where's the head part go for this? See if I can figure that out before we get too far. Alright. And, I mean, it works almost exactly the same as the previous one. So you're not really having to do... I mean, none of them really were that crazy aside from Unicron. How do I flip this up? There we go. We got... I do like this, though, that you can pop these out if need be. Alright. There and there. See how that fits. If it fits at all. Nope. Alright, what are we doing here, guys? What's blocking us from going down? Awesome. Just what I wanted. Mess with this piece too much. That's a little bit tight. There we go. We're going to pop that back in. That back down. And just for S's and G's, I did keep this guy out, which I'm going to be doing a Viper end for the front. But yeah, you can totally fit these guys in here. No problem. We only have him so far, and hopefully they come out with the other two at some point. But he was kind of disappointing because he did not have that Viper front. But I'm totally going to make a pop-on section for that. Nothing too terrible. Probably sell those at TFCon or something. All right. Ultra Magnus is out. Let's put this stuff over here. And then the unboxing shall be completed. Pop this out. Do have our little earpieces here for him as well. They did keep those separate to prevent any sort of scratching. There's his gun. A lot of times whenever I would find these, I used to hunt these down and I have tons of them. This gun part was always lost on that. Of all the pieces that could get lost on these figures, like people would have all the missiles, but be missing that gun. Really weird. All right. These out. Cool. That one's done, and we've officially reboxed everything that isn't important here. There was also a report that someone had a yellowed figure already. I don't see anything that looks anywhere near that for mine, so that's a good sign. But I'm not done unboxing and transmorphing this guy. So let's stick these up here. Hopefully they are not specific to a side. There. And we did it. The unboxing has been done. Let's take a look at the alt modes here. Pretty good. We can also do this while I'm thinking about it, because I probably won't use these for anything but holding Omega Prime up. But you take both of these, slide them together, and then if you purchase two, you can actually have space bridge pieces for them. Looks like they give you little things to hang stuff on. Pretty cool. Pretty unnecessary to even do it, but nice that they did. And then we will pop these both back in. This one is for Ultra Magnus. Wonder where this goes on this. No lights, no sounds. Kind of sucks the fun out of it, in my opinion. Let's put that right here. Because that was one of the fun parts of the previous figure. Looks like you could take this guy out. Let's zoom in a little bit. Whoop. Go down. This guy. Go right here. And then right there. Ta-da! He's so happy. Look at him. Yeah. So they do have plastic wheels, a little bit of a bummer. There's no way to take these off. There's barely any clearance there. So the idea that I had is not going to work. I was going to make replacement wheels for these guys. Oh, hey, and I just dropped that piece, so that's fun. So I was going to make replacement wheels for these guys. Does not look like that's going to happen now. Unfortunate, but necessity. Looks like you can actually push him in too, so he doesn't fall out. Yeah, because they didn't even make it where these could come off. You'd have to heat that up. If there was a little more clearance, I could make it where I could make like a wrap around it that gives you the rubber wheels, but whatever. At least they're not going to turn to dust on you. Cool. With that, we're done with this video. We're going to do some comparisons next time. We're going to start with Ultra Magnus because he is going to be the easier of the two. This guy has some issues that we have to address. Looks like there is a tissue paper in there. I don't see any cracking on the front of mine, so that's a good thing. But that might not be there even. It might be down here. Yeah, I'm going to have to watch some videos and figure out exactly what's going on with that. But we're going to go over Ultra Magnus next. Anyway, he is the safer of them. Actually, you know what? I might go over Blue Bolts next if I can find that figure. Or we'll do an in-between. You know, we'll do Ultra Magnus, then we'll do him in between. Because I'm going to have to do that as a live fix during that video. So I'm not looking forward to that one. Please like, subscribe, comment to see more. I'm Alpha Magnus. These are toys.